The water can hide plenty of secrets, whether it is a rather macabre tale or an artifact sunken and out of sight. For many mysteries, the answers are underneath surface level, with the water concealing clues, answers, and objects. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be taking a look at some discoveries that were uncovered after delving underwater. Body of man missing since 1997 found, thanks to Google Maps. In 2019, a 20-year-old cold case was solved after Google Earth gave the clue to find a missing man. William Moult, aged 40, went missing from Lantana, Florida in 1997 after a night out. On November 7, 1997, he never made it home from the club. We know that Moult left the club at approximately 11 p.m. and had called his girlfriend just hours before at 9:30 p.m. to say that he would be home shortly. Although he was not known to be a frequent drinker, reports state that he had had a few drinks before leaving in his car that November night. A missing person investigation was conducted and the police worked to find Moult and bring him home. But with no new leads and little information to work with, the search was unsuccessful. William Moult became a cold case. Then, 22 years later, on August 28, 2019, there was a breakthrough in the case, though not one that would promise Moult's safe return. A man who had previously lived in the area had been doing a Google search according to local police, when he stumbled across what looked like a sunken car in a local lake. Whilst using the search engine's EarthView feature, the once local resident got in touch with someone who he knew was living in the area, Moonbase Circle, Wellington, at the time, and shared what he saw. Upon hearing this incredibly alarming news, the current local used his own drone to confirm that it was in fact a sunken car that had been seen in the pond. Once they had verified that there was indeed a vehicle submerged in this spot, they contacted local authorities. The car was dragged from the water and human remains were found inside. However, 20 years on, the body was not immediately recognizable. The skeletal remains were identified as being those of William Moult 1 week later. The Charlie Project, an American database of cold cases, has stated that the Google Earth satellite photo had left the car in plain sight since 2007, though it flew under the radar and lay unnoticed until 2019. Following the discovery of William Moult, some speculation began to grow as to the timeline of events on the night of his disappearance. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office said in a statement to the BBC that the assumption is that after a night of drinking, Moult lost control of the car on his way home, driving himself into the pond. The law enforcement elaborated, saying that when the initial investigation was in the works 2 decades prior, there was no evidence of that occurring, and that it was only a shift in the water that later made the car visible. Police spokeswoman Therese Barbara said, "You can't determine what happened that many years ago, what transpired. All we know is that he went missing off the face of the earth, and now he has been discovered. Whilst it certainly may give his family some peace of mind to finally have an answer, even if it is not a positive one, it seems there is nothing more to tell in the solving of this mystery. We may never definitively know what happened on the night of November 7th, 1997. Oklahoma deputies pulled bodies from lake, may date to 1960s and 70s disappearances. In 2013, the next piece of the puzzle may have been found, giving us progress in a 40-year-old mystery and 2 cold cases. Out on Foss Lake, Oklahoma, highway patrolmen were undergoing routine training, learning to handle new sonar equipment, a rather run-of-the-mill routine, until the discovery of 2 cars within the lake that would change the course of the day, to say the least. 2 cars were pulled from the lake, rusted and coated in thick layers of mud, a 1952 Chevrolet and a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro, with 6 bodies inside. Darrell Splawn, a diver with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, stumbled across what he thought was just a shoe inside the vehicle when he then saw the skeletal remains within. After the cars had been removed, dive teams searched underwater in an additional search, during which a skull, femur, and some small bones were found. Their aims were to be DNA tested, looking for a match between the bones discovered and the known living relatives of the 6 missing people known to have gone missing in and nearby to this town. The town of Sayers saw 2 mysteries happen close to one another in 1969 and 1970. Residents believe these cars could answer questions about the local disappearances. Whilst the chronology seems to line up and key details suggest these cases could finally have their ending, DNA confirmation on the remains could take years. One of the cars found, the Camaro, has been linked to the disappearance of Jimmy Williams, aged 16 at the time, Thomas Rios, and Leah Johnson, both aged 18, in 1970. The National Missing and Unidentified Persons System website says Rios had not long moved with his mum and stepdad to Sayre, having been there for only 4 months before their son went missing. On the night of November 20th, 1970, the trio went driving around the town in Williams's Camaro, described as blue with a white top. Williams was meant to be heading to a football game in Elk City, though the family say they think he could have gone hunting with his friends on a road called Turkey Creek. Wherever they went that night, all we know is that the teenagers never made it back home. According to the Doe Network, the Camaro was never found, the vehicle identification number never appeared anywhere, and Williams never used his social security number. Police Chief Ronnie Harold reported to CNN that the locals in Sayre have been creating theories and speculating what could have happened for the 26 years that he has been in the town. The second car within the lake has an entirely separate story. Debbie McManaman stepped forwards, believing that the 1952 Chevrolet could hold her grandfather's remains. John Alva Porter, aged 69 in 1969, was driving in a green Chevrolet with his sibling and a friend, Alry Porter and Nora Marie Duncan, when they all went missing. April 8, 1969, saw the 3 disappear. McManaman told CNN, "It's been so long, 44 years. There are a lot of things in between there we cannot answer, because we do not know. His bank account was there, his house was locked up, utilities were on. He just walked away." Irvy Porter, son of John Porter, went to the lake and saw the investigators looking in and around the cars. Irvy was 85 when the possible remains of his father were discovered and was suffering from dementia. He told CNN, "Still looking for him, but this is going to help me a whole lot." Hopefully the families, friends, and the town of Sayre can gain some closure with the discovery of these cars, 2 unrelated cold cases that seemingly found the same ending. Whilst we do not know how these cars ended up in the lake, there is at least one more answer for the families involved. Bronze Age village is discovered beneath Lake Lucerne. Archaeologists undertaking research in Switzerland have found the remains of a Bronze Age village underwater in May of 2021. Whether or not there was early habitation nearby to Lake Lucerne in Switzerland has been a point of research for a long time, though until recent thick layers of mud concealed traces of this village. The findings of this research could shift our understanding of the area surrounding Lake Lucerne to 2,000 years earlier than what was once thought. The local government was constructing a pipeline at Lucerne, which gave archaeologists an opportunity to take a closer look at the lakebed than had been possible before. The first dive was in December of 2019, followed by March 2020 and then February 2021. In these dives, 30 wooden poles and 5 ceramic fragments were found 10 to 13 feet underwater. The team offered the statement. These new finds from the lake basin confirm that people settled here as early as 3,000 years ago. With this evidence, the city of Lucerne suddenly becomes around 2,000 years older than had been previously proven. Following the discovery of these artifacts, a radiocarbon analysis was used to date them to around 1000 BC. The lake level then was reportedly 16 feet lower than today, presenting itself as an ideal area to build a settlement. The wooden sticks that were discovered have been identified as being part of the support in pole dwellings. These were prehistoric coastal houses that would stand on stilts. These homes were common near the Alps between 5000 and 500 BC. Discovering what appears to be just a wooden stick can actually give us a great deal of information surrounding Europe's Neolithic period and Bronze Age. At the moment, research is confined to the area near to the pipelines as more funding is necessary to venture further, though it is likely that there are further traces of settlements in the surrounding area that have been submerged. This incredible discovery has rewritten a great deal of our historical understanding, though there is certainly a great deal more left to uncover. These strange disappearances and exciting discoveries are a testament to what can be hidden just below the water. You never know what you might find. But what do you make of these undetected watery secrets? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.